Get started. Welcome everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Mark Ferrandino. I'm State Representative for House District 2. Thank you for coming to our town hall meeting. We have Senator Steadman from Senate District 32? 31, I don't remember. It's the senators, I don't remember. And Senator Sen Aguilar from Senate District 32. So wanted to just touch off on a few things. One, start with reapportionment, because I haven't been having a town hall for a little while, and now we're going to start having them up again monthly here, hopefully, the third Wednesday of each month from 6 to 7. But wanted to give you a quick rundown on reapportionment, and then we'll talk kind of about session and answer your questions. So the reapportionment, which we do every year, every 10 years after the census, redrew all the districts. Now, those got approved by the Supreme Court sometime in mid-December. They actually don't take effect until January 2013 in terms of who each of us represents. So if you're currently in House District 2, I still represent you, even if you're not in the new House District 2. If you were in the new House District 2, I don't represent you till after the next election. So those new maps are in effect for the election, but not in effect for who you represent. So that kind of gets confusing. My district changed significantly. I have about 10 or 15% of my current population is in my new district. And what happened is the district moved east and south, a little bit north, but it basically moved. We used to have all the west side. It does, as Barry's pointed out, if you look at it on a map, it looks like it's giving everyone the middle finger, because it has an extension. Okay, right, that's the district. It really does look like everyone, because it goes up and picks Capitol Hill and Uptown. So it has Uptown and Capitol Hill, most of Baker, almost all of West Wash Park, part of Wash Park, all of DU, University Park, and then Rosedale, Platt Park. So it's really south central Denver is my new district. My old district used to go across the highway into Athmar, Westwood, all the way to the city limits on the west. In terms of what that means in the district, it used to be the #1 Hispanic district in the state. Now it is the 10th least minority district in the state. Significantly changed, but the reason for that, we used to only have one majority-minority district in Denver. But by cutting up some of my population, we were able to make 3 majority Hispanic districts in the state, in the city of Denver. So that's why that was moved. I'm really sad to lose a lot of the people I've been working with on the west side for a long time, and as I tell them, I'm going to continue to represent them even if I'm not actually elected to represent them, because I really care about a lot of those issues, but I'm looking forward to getting to know some of the new areas of my district. So with that, I'll pass it off to Pat, and then we'll go to Irene, and then we'll move on to session.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Pat Steadman, Senator from District 31, and my district changed a lot through the reapportionment process. The district I represent today is actually 50% in Denver and 50% in Adams County. And the new district is no longer anywhere near Adams County, and instead goes clear to the city limits on the east and southern parts of Denver. I live in the Capitol Hill neighborhood, and so this new district goes from Capitol Hill all the way across to Yosemite and whatever the eastern boundaries of Denver are. They're quite irregular in southeast Denver. The district has changed a lot just in terms of demographics. Like Representative Ferrandino's, I used to have a fairly diverse district in terms of socioeconomic status and race and other demographics. The district's become a little less diverse, a little more affluent. And one of the ways to understand what's happened is that a lot of the population growth in Denver has occurred in Stapleton and Lowry, and all those new houses and all those new residents are causing all the district boundaries to sort of move towards where the people are now to equalize the population. So Lowry is going to be one of the neighborhoods in my new district. One of the other ways just to understand sort of how this all works is right now we're all, finishing out terms that actually don't end until a year from now in January, representing the people that elected us in 2010. And we still represent those people who elected us until the term ends. But as we campaign for re-election this year, we're going to be campaigning to a different electorate and people in different parts of town. And for Mark, he's got a fairly significant adjustment. It's nowhere near the adjustment I have going. I mean, there's very little of my old district that's intact. No more Adams County, but instead now I have Glendale in addition to Lowry. And so I've been spending a lot of time starting to do things with Senator Joyce Foster and in House District 9 in Southeast Denver, because I've got a lot of new neighborhoods and a lot of new territory to get to know people in. And Senator Aguilar, I know your district changed, but not nearly as much as maybe the two of us.
Yes, so as some of you may know, there are parts of Denver right now that extend out as far as Kipling and Lowell's, the area people used to call the Blue Ghetto. And so they amputated the Blue Ghetto from me. They took away the part south of Hamden. And interestingly, that's going with Senator Jeannie Nicholson, who lives in Blackhawk in the Central City area. And unfortunately, my aide lives in that part, but she's still going to work with me. And then they had me go further east, all the way to I-25, along the southern part of Denver, north of Hamden, but southern part of Denver. So I go as far west as Sheridan, as far east as Monaco. Dahlia, I'm sorry, and then I used to go north all the way to Colfax, and now I'll only go up to, depending on where you're at, Alameda, or 6th Avenue, or 8th Avenue, or 1st Avenue. So I won't go any further north than 8th Avenue. The demographics actually for my district get more favorable. The Blue Ghetto was a little bit red, and so I actually am a Hispanic influence district now with 31.8% Hispanic population, and I am a district that, in the worst race, voted about 64% for the Democratic candidate over about 22% for the Republican candidate. So a very Democratic district. I actually think my affluence factor is about the same. The Blue Ghetto varied in affluence, but overall was more affluent than the average, but I pick up Observatory Park and University Hills, so probably about the same there.
Any questions on reapportionment and redistricting before we move on to actually more important stuff, which is what we're doing for the next 112 days?